Okay, hello, my wonderful grade twos. As you all know, we have been talking about the water cycle in science class lately, and I know that it's a big new idea, and big new ideas can be super overwhelming, and sometimes we just feel like giving up because it just seems way too hard. So, I'm making this video for all of you to show that the water cycle is not as big and scary to learn about as it seems in the beginning, alright? So, I've drawn out this water cycle diagram here on my iPad, and we are going to go through the process of the water cycle together. This video is going to be uploaded to my YouTube channel, and the link is going to be available on Google Classroom, so you can go back and you can watch it whenever you need to. Okay? So, let's begin. So, we talked about the 4 stages of the water cycle in class, and they are collection, evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. So remember we talked about how the water cycle, it loops around like a circle. It doesn't just end after precipitation. So once precipitation takes place, our cycle begins all over again. So we are going to start with collection. All right? So collection is water that is stored in lakes and rivers, the ocean, even the pools in our backyards. So as the sun heats up the water in our collected water sources, it begins to evaporate. So, in order for water to evaporate, it turns into these teeny tiny water droplets, so tiny we can't see them with our own eyes. These little tiny water droplets are called water vapor. Okay, so let me just fix this. All right, sorry, there we go. All right, so during evaporation, our water vapor rises high up into the sky, all right, and it begins the process of condensation. So during condensation, our water vapor, it condenses and it groups together to form clouds. Unfortunately, that means our clouds are not made of fluffy cotton candy, just boring condensed water vapor, but that's okay. So once our clouds are full of condensed water vapor and they just can't hold anymore, precipitation happens. So during precipitation, our condensed water vapor falls back to the ground, and precipitation can be snow or rain or hail or sleet. For example, in the winter, our precipitation is snow, and in the summertime, we get rain for our precipitation. And when we get thunderstorms, we sometimes even get hail. So, once it's back on the ground, some of our water is absorbed into groundwater to keep our plants and our gardens hydrated, and the rest of it becomes runoff, where it eventually finds its way back into our lakes and rivers, where it's going to begin its cycle all over again. So, runoff finds its way back into our lakes and rivers to start the process of collection all over again. So we're just going to run through the water cycle one more time together, okay? So we begin at collection, and collection is our lakes and our rivers. Even the puddles that you see on the street is collection, okay? And the sun's rays heat up our collected water through the process of evaporation. So evaporation is when our water vapor is when the sun turns our water into water vapor, these teeny tiny droplets that we can't see with our own eyes. And it rises high up into the sky to make clouds. And that process is called condensation, okay? So once our clouds take on so much water vapor and they just can't hold on to it anymore, the process of precipitation occurs. And precipitation is when condensed water makes its journey back to Earth, and it will either become groundwater or it will become runoff, which will make its way back into our rivers and our lakes, our ponds, where the process of collection starts all over again. And our cycle repeats on and on. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys, and if you are still having any trouble or if you have any questions, I will always be there to help. I will see you in class. Thank you. Bye.